this is BattleSouls. It is like a very drop in, drop out kind of MOBA. It's very similar. It actually reminds me a lot of Smite. So right off the bat, you know, it is not the prettiest game. It's definitely okay. Notably, the animations are pretty rough, but it's not exactly something to condemn the game for. But otherwise, it has this nice kind of goofy medieval look, which looks pretty nice. Actually, if the animations were better, I think I'd rate the graphic side of things a lot more, a lot higher than it is. But it looks pretty nice. Actually, you know what? This would make a nice like MMORPG instead of just a MOBA. But anyway, so you have all these different characters. Like, I'm trying to beat up this mage dude. He's very slippery though. Everyone's very slippery in this game, which kind of leads to like. So there's the next hero. So you can switch between 3 heroes and they each have 2 abilities. One for each mouse click. So left click, right click. I'm pretty sure each character's left click is just a regular auto attack. And then the right click is like a more special kind of move. It has a much longer cooldown. So you see there I died. It's gonna take a while for me to respawn. Which is kind of weird that it's like so like fast paced in every other aspect, but then you have to wait 15 seconds to respawn. I think it'd be better if like you made the spawns further away, so by the time you walked up to the action, it was 15 seconds instead of just respawn. But anyway, that's game design, creative decision. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, okay. So overall, yeah, the game looks great. The sound design is, it's pretty average. I mean, whatever. But the controls are actually a big point of interest to me because I've always found Smite, even though it's very it works well enough. I've always felt that it was kind of sluggish, but this is like everything is so crisp and moves so quickly. Even if the animations aren't great, I still feel like I am in complete control of my character because of how like crisp the controls are. That's something that really did incredibly well. Like 99%, yes, absolutely, but noticeably, the dash on this warrior dude is kind of wacky. It's like he gets pushed forward instead of like he's running forward, but I don't know. So it's kind of weird in that way. So right now I'm actually playing against a bunch of bots, which is how they kind of go for the jump in, jump out anytime kind of thing that they're going for. You could say like, oh, it's a bit disingenuous or whatever, but it's not the biggest deal. No one's losing sleep over playing against some bots when you want to get a game going. And the bots are actually pretty good. They're not just stupid. They actually spent some time to make the AI at least relatively competent. I think a lot of the AI stick to the mage class, which I found was weird. Like, see, I'm going up against this guy. It's another player, right? So you can see that he's switching his classes just as much as I am, and you can see how like dynamic it makes the combat. It looks like I actually won out on this one. So this is the crystal. So it's basically like kind of like a Dominion game mode, basically. So you go to these crystals, and no, it's not like actually damaging you like I thought immediately. It just shows you that, hey, you're taking this crystal. So when you take all these crystals, you basically win the game. So like you see that AR right there, he's not actually switching classes, would be helpful. So what switching classes does, which is what is really interesting, is that immediately after switching, you actually get a bit of a buff. So like this warrior guy, when I switch to him, I get a couple second immunity. So I can, rush somebody in with my charge, right? When I switch to this guy, I think it's either armor penetration or I get armor. So it's helpful for, for doing whatever. So this is the loadout screen. I can pick which heroes I want to jump into. So I've got 5 heroes here, and I'm going to pick 3 of them. I've already picked a couple. I'm going to pick this weird-looking, ghoul-looking dude. So this one actually looks a lot better. I like the look of this guy. Although, admittedly, if you're like floating, it's not just going to be the cape moving. He's also going to be kind of wavering up and down the air. But it's minor. That's minor stuff. But overall, it plays well. It looks pretty great. The sound design is quite good. I like the game design philosophy of wanting to jump in and out very quickly. And I do like the look of these characters. Like, this whole game just has a lot of personality, which is something you don't often see with a lot of these free-to-play, MOBAs or MMOs or whatever. See, like that, that's really cool that if you aim it up just right when you dash, you're actually going to stun lock them, it looks like. It's only like a very brief moment, but when battles are hectic and the health is so low, then it can really make a big difference. And if I had to complain about like how the game worked, I'd say give everyone 20% more health, and then slow down the movement speed by like another 20% or something like that. Because right now it feels a little bit too reliant on just twitch skills instead of the hero switching mechanic. But that could just be something that I'm not accustomed to because I haven't played. And maybe once you play a lot more, it becomes a much more strategical game instead of just who can switch the characters the fastest and all that. Which can be kind of frustrating. And like that, so obviously I'm never going to win, 3v1. So I'm not like complaining about that or anything like that. But yeah, this is a pretty good game. I think I'd give it a solid 8. Which is actually what I've been giving a lot of games lately. But it's pretty good. I definitely recommend checking this out. It is free to play. It is on Steam. Yeah, it's definitely on Steam. I'm not sure what like their update schedule is, but I know they have some microtransactions for pets and stuff. I don't believe any of it actually affects the gameplay, which is good, and you can access every hero from the get-go, so that's great. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Besides for some minor like game design changes, I think this would be a pretty solid 9. But it's just there's some things that are holding it back. And what I think would be cool if maybe they kind of branched off with like I really like the modeling and I really like the personality of this game. I think they could actually branch off and even create their own small like MMORPG. But I don't know, something to definitely keep an eye on with this dev. See if they're putting out anything else. But that's pretty much it. That's BattleSouls. It's on Steam. It's free to play. It's been released. It's pretty good. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're someone who likes the fast-paced action, who wants very quick drop in and out games. The player base isn't the highest, but it'll probably raise over time. It just came out, but it's pretty good. And that's it. Thanks for watching.